Number 6 is guaranteed to get people calling me an absolute gobshite. A fool. But this is what I learned in life. Sure, it would be easy to do a podcast in the studio every week, but when you live in a place like this, when you live close to this beautiful beach, it would be a crime not to do a podcast there from time to time. So this week, I'm gonna walk this beach and I'm gonna speak about 6 things I wish I knew when I was 20 years old. Let's do it. Our number 1. There are no shortcuts to winning. There are just no shortcuts. Anything that's worth having takes a lot of hard work. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So what do I mean when I say that? If we put in minimal effort, we will attain minimal results. And a perfect example of that is the shortcut that a lot of us look for in life. I'm gonna go up this hill. So a perfect example of that is gambling culture, right? A culture I know a lot about, a culture I was deep in my younger years, something that I got dragged into. And I think a lot of us gamble for the simple reason that we are hoping that we're going to hit a jackpot. We're going to hit some €10 accumulator on 4 horses at 20 to 1 each, and we're going to win 45 grand for minimal effort, when really we're just going to fuck another €100 at the bookie for absolutely no good reason. And gambling is a weird thing. I often think about it. It's a working class problem. It's a mental thing for working class people, and that's what I could do a whole podcast on this. But gambling is very much a working class problem. If you go to a wealthy area and you walk around it, where all the shops are, all the local amenities, the facilities, it's not too often you see a Paddy Power or a Boyles. If you go to Blanche, you go to Tala, you go to Cabra, you could just turn around one corner and you'll find a bookie shop. It's a working class, ingrained in us, trying to find an easy escape through a horse or a football match, when 99.97% of the time we're just digging ourselves into a deeper hole. And I'm not here to preach. I'm here talking to my 20-year-old self, who would blow €200 on the bookies in an hour after making €400 for a week's work. Fucking idiot, you know what I'm saying? And when I finally got older and learned some lessons in life, I realised that anything that I made or was a success in whatever field it was, took a lot of work. It was never a lucky accumulator. It was fucking at home writing, at home planning, at home studying, at home fucking working on essays. Working. It was always working. It was never luck. And these are just the things, yeah. that's the blessing of older age. The only blessing that time gives you is that you learn things that would have come in quite handy when you were younger. And that's number 1 for sure. Number 2, a big one. If you're on a personal path of self-development and improvement, expect haters. Expect people to be bitching about you. And there's a number of reasons for that. But what it does mean is it means you're doing something right. Because people see the success of others around them as a reflection of their own failures. And there's two reactions to that. Some people will look at you and will say, fair play to him. I can't believe he's trying that. I'm going to let him know if I can help him in any way whatsoever, I'm going to help him. And then there's other people saying, look at that fucking sham, trying to start his own business, or trying to be a rapper, or trying to make a film, or trying to make their own clothing range, or whatever it is. Look at, he's not going to be able to do that, she's not going to be able to do that. Sure, look at them, they only have this amount of people following them, no one's even liking their stuff. They're the ones that try and drag you back down because they look at you as a reflection of their own failures, because they most likely wanted to do something with their lives, but they sat in their arse instead, out of either fear or laziness, or most commonly a mix of both. So expect haters, man, and especially now with social media, right? And I see this all the time. I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Insta, and I put a lot of shit out nowadays, as you know. And I'll get comments off people saying, don't quit your day job, bud, or you're not a podcaster, pal, from somebody who has no profile photo and a fucking name of something out of a comic book or some shit, right? Some fucking loser who's wallowing in their own fucking hole of depression because regret has consumed them, because they've never done anything in their own life, will try and drag you like crabs in a bucket, try and drag you back down to the other crabs, man. And it's a sign that you're doing something right. If you get people chatting shit about you like that, that means you're doing something right. So actually take that as an empowering thing, is what I would say. It's not easy to do that. I mean, I got a comment today off somebody saying, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. And you could get 5 comments saying you're doing great things, keep going, and then you'll get 1 comment saying you don't know what you're talking about. And it's the 1 comment that you will stew on for a half an hour. And that's me as a 41-year-old. So I can imagine what it's like being a young kid trying to deal with that shit. But take it as a compliment, man. People are just looking at you as a mirror of their own failures, and they're like, fuck, that prick's doing things that I wanted to do. And that's a big one, that's number 2. A third thing I learned that I wish I could tell my 20-year-old self is to prove before you promise. Prove before you promise. Build in the shadows. Do not be fucking sitting around. This is the easiest and the most satiating and rewarding thing to do, is to be on point number 4 in the pub on a Sunday and tell people that tomorrow you're going to start doing this and you're going to start your business and you have all these great ideas and you're going to do this and you're going to do that, because it tastes so good while you're drinking, man. Fake promise tastes good. It mixes well with alcohol and drugs. I would tell myself now to prove before I promise. If I think I can do something, don't chat shit about it. Go into the fucking back room and start building. And come back out when you've got something to show people. Because like those who make the promises before they actually lay a brick on a plan tend to quit before they even started, man, trust me. That's coming from my own experience. Build, then show. I'm gonna go back in time and give this episode to my 20-year-old self. I would be very interested to see where I would be at this stage of my life if I had these lessons. Lesson number 4. Be the one thing that nobody else can. There's only one thing you can be that nobody else can. And that's yourself. As simple as it sounds, it's yourself. Like, legends are never built directly from the mold of their heroes, never. Take influence from people who inspire you or people who laid the path, but don't be a straight fucking copy of them, because genius is only built in something that's new, something that's going to change the dynamic of how people look at whatever it is, whether it be music, whatever it be, business, be fucking comic books, be film, be fucking building sandcastles, for all we're chatting about. But if you just try and copy a legend and be a replica of them, one, you will never be able to, and two, you're bringing nothing new to the table, so nobody cares, man. So learn from what people show and then put your own style on it in every aspect, whatever you're creating, man. I don't want to listen to somebody's music if it's a direct copy of like anybody else's. A concern of mine would be when people continuously link us to Rage Against the Machine. I'm like, shit, I don't want to get too close to that, you know. Big influence, there's a mold there, there's definitely an inspiration, a huge inspiration, but I want to put my own twist on it. I want to go, yeah, well, like, they couldn't sound like they were from fucking Dublin, they couldn't talk about this, they didn't know how to talk about that. Much like I couldn't talk about stuff they did, you know what I'm saying? Don't be the Timu version of those who inspire you, is what I'm saying. Do not be that Timu version. Big one for us working class people. Number 5. Before you buy something, ask yourself, do you need this thing or do you want this thing? And the crime many of us commit, and I am a monster at this crime, is convincing myself that a want is a need. And it often comes in the shape of a car or something for me. And it'd be like, it's an M Sport Beamer or something. I want it because it looks nice and it drives fast. I will spend a week convincing myself that that want is a need. Oh no, it's a good idea to get it though, because it'll look better if I do this, or I can charge it, it's hybrid, so it might actually save me money. Shut the fuck up. I don't need that €468 microphone to make, it's not going to get me an extra 1,000 subscribers to the podcast, right? I want it because it sounds a little bit better, but I don't need it because you guys wouldn't even notice the difference, right? And we do that a lot, man. We buy shit. We get ourselves in debt for stuff we want. And then when we get it, we realise that it's not worth it. It's not worth all the money we're after wasting on it. We're paying 5 years for it now. We're going to pay for this thing for 5 years and we hate it after 3 months. And then we're going to sell the car that I bought for 28 grand for 16 grand a year later, and I'm paying 35 off the loan with the interest added on it, right? I'm still paying debts that I built up when I was young from buying dumb shit. So yeah, what I do now is, I'm not perfect at this, but what I try to do is I ask myself, do I need this or do I want it? And if I want it, I think a bit longer about it before I just impulse buy. That's like a little drug in itself, isn't it? Impulse buying, man. Especially when there's a credit card in your back pocket. Number 6 is guaranteed to get people calling me an absolute gobshite. A fool. But this is what I learned in life. Saving is for absolute suckers. Number 6, saving is for suckers. And it's another working class thing we do. Our parents, if they're any good, will try and teach you to save money, right? To save for a rainy day. But as you get older and you look at the economy and whatever, like I studied business too, but this isn't how I learned it. Inflation will just eat away. There is absolutely no point in you putting money in a bank account or hiding money in a shoebox, because inflation will eat away at that money, and that 2 grand you had 2 years ago is now worth €1,400. And I wish I had known this when I was younger. Well, I wish I had even tried to save. I was a fucking idiot, to be honest with you. Once I put money in my pocket, it just fell back out. I just spent it straight away. I was like, my wallet was bulimic, man. I put the money in it, I had to fucking vomit it back out straight away and spend it on some dumb shit. But that's just part of being young, right? But back to the matter at hand. Don't save, man. And people are like, well, what are you gonna do then? Invest your money. And not in crypto. Don't do crypto. Another mad lesson I learned. Don't do crypto, because that's a shortcut. Like lesson 1, there is no shortcuts. Invest in slow growing stocks, man. S&P 500, stuff like that. Stuff that's not going to disappear overnight. Compound growths over, like, say, a decade. That little $2,000 you put in the shoebox, be worth a lot more money if you're patient with it and you just put it away and you forget about it for 10, 20 years. Trust me, that is one of the biggest regrets of my life. Financial education is so important, man. And us working class people who just grew up through survival instincts just never really learned that. We were never really taught that, and it's nobody's fault. When you, like, if you go back 3 generations from when I was growing up, people were like literally fucking happy just to eat something, have a bed to sleep in, to be 8 people sleeping in the same room. So that's generational survival instinct that's going to be passed on as we go. Investing is not a concept. Surviving is the key concept. So it's not anyone to blame, but it's about continuously learning how to improve our lives, and saving for me is not one. Investing is way, way smarter. And I don't really care if I get the hate for it, to be honest with you. And this is a short little podcast. It's just 6 little lessons I wish I knew when I was 20. But I'm grateful that I know them now, because I'm going to make the most of it for the rest of the time I have on this beautiful planet of ours. And yeah, guys, this podcast is going to shift a little bit. I feel like I need to change my life, my approach to this podcast and art form for a little while. So expect weirdness, and have a good week, people. Hopefully there's big news coming in the near future. I'll chat to you soon.